single trophy this season. Yes, we are talking about the downfall of Liverpool. So after 7 seasons and 6 major trophies that included a Champions League title and a Premier League title, is it time for Liverpool to move on from Jurgen Klopp? That's the question that we are asking in this live. Hello and welcome. You have tuned into WION Sports Extra. And I'm joined by 2 Liverpool fans, editor Digvijay Singh Deo and my colleague Shibashish Nandi.
What was it about no biases? We are Liverpool fans when we're watching a match, not when we're in office.
But what a great panel to have this discussion on Liverpool. You can give the fan view as well.
United boy.
Definitely. So yeah,
But I think we should welcome Shibashish. For a long time, he tends to stay away from all these conversations. I think doesn't want to stick his neck out. But very provocative sort of question we've asked today. So let's start with you, since you're the one who's not been too regular. Provocative question. Is it time for Liverpool to move on from Klopp?
No. Because, I mean, for any club like Liverpool or United, any big club, such clubs need personalities as managers and coaches. I mean, I don't see anyone available in the market who would be willing to take this Liverpool job, who is as big as Jurgen Klopp, who can control his players, who can rule over the club. So no, Liverpool, they might have to stick with Klopp for another season or 2, or at least a season at least, if not till 2026.
No, but you're still saying that they have to move on from him.
maybe it's a short, like a long term. You're saying they have to move on from Klopp. Like, what's your reasoning for that?
So basically, I mean, we have seen Klopp's team, the team playing pressing football, but from last season, I mean, he changed his gameplay after Liverpool bought Thiago, because everyone knew Thiago, he doesn't have the leg to press the ball. So he was there to create those chances with the other 2 midfielders chasing the ball.
Henderson, Fabinho, yeah.
So that has been missing from this season, and we all know what is going on in Liverpool, because they do not have the legs in the midfield, and for Liverpool the midfield is the strongest part of the team.
Okay, so let me give my take. However much I have loved Jurgen Klopp and what he's brought to Liverpool, he sort of lifted them from rock bottom and has taken them to sort of the top of the world. Let's be fair. Last year they were perhaps they won only 2 trophies. They lost the 2 big ones, but they were one of the most informed teams in world football. My problem with Liverpool this season has been the sheer drop off in quality and the results, and ultimately teams are judged on the basis of the results that they've got in a season. I've actually got some numbers which I looked up, and I think those numbers tell a story. You're not in contention for even 1 trophy anymore. It's
you're
over.
Fighting for top 4. You're not even
top 4 is not a given.
Yeah.
So if you were any other club in the Premier League and top 4 is not delivered, would it ensure that you would be asked to go? Answer that. First you. Just from a generic point of view, you've seen the way United have sort of lurched from manager to manager, and ultimately the top 4 is a given, right?
Top 4 is a given,
If Liverpool do not make the top 4 and the way they're playing, it looks highly unlikely, especially the next 3 games coming up.
Yeah, but
what are they? City, Chelsea, Arsenal.
City, Chelsea, Arsenal.
Yeah, and 1 home game. Just 1 home game.
Yeah.
And those 3.
And I think top 4 is bare minimum for a club like Liverpool to finish.
Top 4, let me rephrase. Top 4 for a club like Liverpool after the season they had last year, after the investment they've made in terms of Nunez coming in for a serious amount of money, Cody Gakpo coming in for a serious amount of money. That's 100 million, right? That's 100 million
More
there
than 100.
on 2 players?
Yeah, more than 100.
More than 100 million at least? So then, what excuse? Yes, what you're saying is that Jurgen Klopp will carry on. That's because of the credit he has on the bank. I'm just thinking that give the man his due. No one's saying that Jurgen Klopp should be sacked. But I think it's time for that partnership to end. I think he's taken Liverpool as far as possible. This great team that he created, let's not forget, that peak was last year. But to create this team has taken that 6 or 7 year cycle. It's time for a rebuild. That's why I think Klopp will be what? By the time he finishes the contract, he would be at the club for more than 10 years. 11 years, right? That's too long. And perhaps he also needs a reset, like he took a break from Dortmund and then was on a holiday when he got the call from Liverpool. I think Liverpool are ready to take the next step forward. As you said, who's the coach? Well, the club have to look out and figure out what the point is. But I think Klopp has taken them to an extent. By sticking on longer and attempting the rebuild, I'm going to give an example of Joachim Low. When the Germans missed out of the World Cup in Russia, he stayed on till the Euros, saying, I am going to rebuild this team. It didn't work out. A rebuilding should be left to a completely new person.
Yeah.
That's the way I feel.
Yeah. No, but in Klopp's defense, I think Liverpool were hampered with injuries.
But every manager, especially in this World Cup year with the schedule all over the place, has been facing those problems. But why are City still dominant?
So the squad depth also, I think, it plays a big part.
So yes, Liverpool don't have the money. That's why they were seeking investment, right?
Yeah.
So where does the rebuild come from? You're talking, let's look at the players you want to move on, okay? You're saying the midfield has to be revamped. Your front four is brilliant. I think we saw flashes in that United game with Nunez and with Salah, who they hung on to instead of Mane, which could be, in my opinion, a bad decision. But Gakpo is there, Jota when fully fit, Diaz fully fit. That front line is taken care of. Yeah. This Liverpool front line, when firing, will tear anyone apart. Let's look at the midfield. Oxlade-Chamberlain has to go. Yeah. Thiago has to go. Fabinho, great servant for Liverpool, this year has been off. Especially the last game against Real, the 5-2 game, there were so many mistakes he made. Milner, great servant to the club, 37. Perhaps will still stick on and move on and be a coach.
And Naby Keita, I've never seen that guy.
Naby Keita has to go. Henderson's 33. You're looking at 8 or 9 players. And these 8 or 9 players, how much will they fetch in the market? You'll be lucky to even get 40, 50, 60 million dollars for them.
Yeah, I mean...
Okay? The age, Henderson 33, Milner 38, Thiago 30, other side of 30. Who's going to buy them?
No one.
You can probably cash in on Fabinho. Okay? Then, significant investment.
Midfield, the two youngsters who have played well, Harvey Elliott and Stefan Bajcetic.
Bajcetic, there's obviously Curtis Jones and all as well. That's the in-house talent, right? But this is your engine room. Liverpool have always been a team where the engine room has shuts the opposition down and puts those killer passes through for that front three to sort of play havoc, right?
Yeah.
Changing, you're talking of Jude Bellingham, you know. You're talking of now Gavi has been linked to obviously whatever the problems are happening in Barcelona. But they're not going to come cheap.
Yeah.
Bellingham itself is going to be 100 million. Do Liverpool have the money? They don't have the money. That's they can't compete with sovereign funds, right? And United currently, after spending all that and going all over the place, they're also in talks over takeover, right? Yeah. Either Ratcliffe or the Qatari, Sheikh Jassim. So there's money going to be there. So it's not a level playing field. So I just think that the club have to decide that it's no time for sentiment. I have a feeling, and I want to ask you this, as a Liverpool fan, has Klopp been, I read somewhere this morning, has Klopp been too loyal to these same bunch of players who have taken him so far?
He had no other option. That is the most simplest answer I could give. I mean, yeah, even he knew, everyone...
Step back, show your face there. Come on, that's the guy.
everyone knew that Liverpool needed a rebuild, especially in the midfield. But, I mean, he went for Kamavinga in the summer.
He didn't want to come.
He didn't want to come. Then there were...
Why would he come from Real Madrid?
Yeah. No, I mean, before he joined Real Madrid, I'm sorry.
No, not Kamavinga.
Chouameni. He didn't want to join Liverpool. There were links with Gravenberch, who joined Bayern Munich. Again, he's a great talent. So, Liverpool, they did want to rebuild their team, but they didn't have the money. So, Klopp was, it's still being forced to use that same three midfielders. The team that won the...
No, but when you're saying they didn't have the money, what was the priority? If you've had Salah stay back, and you still have Jota, you have Luis Diaz, you basically lost money, right?
Yeah.
But then you spent 100 million.
Yeah, you got
plus
Gakpo
on Gakpo and Nunez.
Nunez was always a panic buy.
Nunez can't be a panic buy. He was scoring goals in Benfica.
No, but I'm just trying to address what Nandi was saying. That if your midfield is crying out for investment, shouldn't you have put the money in there?
Yeah.
Because ultimately it's the midfield which has let you down this year.
And probably Gakpo was probably linked to United and not many people were expecting that we would go to Liverpool. Probably we could have invested that money in a midfield player.
Will you get a midfield player at that much money is also the question.
Yeah. I mean, there's always those.
Look at the money Chelsea paid for Enzo.
Crazy amount.
Chelsea are breaking the bank for like. Todd Bowley has changed the transfer market.
I have no doubts that Jurgen Klopp, wherever he goes, is going to be a very good manager because he's a great manager. Sort of he backs his team, he sort of motivates his team, but he's not been able to do it. I think the problem with Liverpool this season is that fatigue has caught up with them, the intensity of playing for Jurgen Klopp, and there's no way out of it, and he's not been able to turn it around. There have been flashes of brilliance, but this Liverpool team, which is, look at the amount of defeats they've had. Who are they losing to? Bournemouth,
Nottingham,
Brighton, Forest,
But then
teams in the lower half.
And they're beating United 7-0.
Yeah.
So the inconsistency.
There's a reset is required, and however they find the money or not, I don't think Klopp is the person. I just think that Jurgen Klopp is still at Liverpool and he will leave on his own terms. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
But I think if this season they don't get Champions League, there's a possibility, and think about it, he may walk.
So Kuchana.
Yeah.
No, they'll cash in on him.
And also there's a poll underway on our Twitter page,
Okay, you have
Liverpool
questions?
move on from Jurgen Klopp. You can vote right now. We'll announce the result towards the end of this live. That poll is live on Twitter. Please go and share your opinion.
Okay. Soham has asked the question, is it time for Liverpool to leave the Premier League? Well, they perhaps tried with the European Super League, but that's not a valid question. But Akshay, will Jurgen Klopp be given an extended run following the below par 2023 season? I think that's the crux of what we are trying to talk at the moment. Where do you think, as a neutral in this, between the two Liverpool fans? No, from a purely as point of someone who sort of watches sport.
No, but like the point he raised, like if they press the reset button now, who is going to replace Klopp? Like managers that are available in the market, Thomas Tuchel.
Yes, and he would be a good manager.
He would be a good manager.
Zinedine Zidane.
Zidane, like he's apprehensive of coming to the Premier League, but you never know.
He's always been a good motivator, right?
Because
a good manager.
Yeah.
People always said, right? Zidane may not be the greatest coach. He won you 3 Champions Leagues. Great manager who sort of got that superstar-filled Real Madrid dressing room together.
But I feel like if they want to...
Steven Gerrard?
Steven Gerrard is not a good manager. I mean, yes, he did win the Scottish Premier League with Rangers, but we saw how mediocre Aston Villa was.
But the cards he was dealt with, you take away Jack Grealish, then?
Still, I mean, even without Jack Grealish, Aston Villa had a decent team. They could have easily finished in the top, if not in the top half, at least top 12, top 14.
Okay, question. Sorry. Will Liverpool go for a superstar name? Or who do you think is the right profile of a coach who can sort of turn Liverpool around? Because you'll also have to have a manager then who will come in, will have to oversee the spend, and then have that patience from the owners, which I think the Liverpool owners have patience. And that's why the club is a very well-run club. Give him 2 years and say turn it around. Because we saw what happened with Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah.
After that great season, didn't do well, they stuck with him, but then the next season when it didn't start, and they were panicked by it. There was Benteke, there was why always me, Mario Balotelli. Yeah.
So you also think that when do they need to press the reset button? This is like the next season they need a different manager, or you think like Shibushi said, maybe wait for a couple of years? And
I think Jurgen Klopp has taken this Liverpool team as high as anyone can. And you're asking a long-suffering Liverpool fan, did you expect this team to win a league title, win a Champions League in that period? No.
Yeah.
The fact where they were when he took over, they were rock bottom? No. I just think that every good thing must come to an end. I have a feeling that Klopp, the own high standards that he set for himself, he could walk.
I think we agree that Klopp
he's most likely going to work on his own terms.
Yes. But if top 4 doesn't happen, then I don't think there's anything to look forward to. You're in the top 4, you're in the Champions League, there's something to play for. I mean, I'm not sure Liverpool could end up not even being in Europe. I mean, I don't think they want to play in the Conference League.
Yeah.
Even though Mourinho has sort of glamorized the Conference League by winning it.
So yeah, I think we've covered pretty much. Like, what's the result of the
Full poll result. Yes, 63.3%. Can't say 6.7, no 30. 2/3?
Yeah, 3%.
And some of them may be Liverpool fans as well. I know everyone's hurting. But I just think yesterday night they were listless. They were listless. Yeah. This is not the Liverpool sort of we want. And I think the indications were there from the start of the season. And the slide has been evident. One big result against, say, a City or a United doesn't change the season.
True.
So yeah,
But if Liverpool,
Final word,
Final word.
to the guest appearance.
if Liverpool wants a, I don't know, they want to do a reshuffle with a new manager, who do you think it's going to be? Will the FSG want the instant success or success in like 2-3 years, like just you mentioned?
I think you'll have to, if you're doing a rebuild, you'll have to wait. You have to be patient. I think Chelsea fans aren't patient. Okay, Potter's come in and whatever happened, but yes, so many players have been bought. It takes time to gel. You need at least a year and a half to sort of, I know that people will say, oh, you know, Ten Hag won it and all, but the difference between winning the league and the difference between winning a League Cup.
It's huge.
It's Mohammad Ali versus Mohammad Ali Kamar. The difference there.
Definitely, there's a huge difference there. So yeah, I think we have covered the Liverpool topic today, and so at our in our show at 6:30 p.m. IST, Inter Milan, AC Milan, and now Napoli have joined them. I think from the first time since 2006.
3 Italian teams.
So yeah, we have
In the Champions League quarterfinals, obviously the Liverpool game. There's we're building up to United as well. Real Betis, they have a 4-1 lead. Big controversy happening in golf, changing the golf ball. They want to ensure that the likes of Bryson DeChambeau don't hit it so hard. DeChambeau, Justin Thomas sort of coming out and questioning is that how golf bodies should be thinking about growing the game. That's there. Then what else do we have?
Indian
we have
Wells.
Ja
Morant, 8-game suspension.
We can't forget that RCB has finally won a game in the women's Premier League.
And after a pep
Korban
talk
or
by,
Majid Bore.
RCB just stopped being RCB there. Yes, last time.
and after a pep talk by Virat Kohli. So probably that.
I hope that's not the headline that goes out. That's unfair.
That's not the headline, but again, yeah. So yeah, and results from Indian Wells.
Yes.
So yeah, that and much more on our show at 6:30 p.m. IST. Thanks for tuning in.